Well, at least they prepared for a diversion. Like I said, they planned for this. But if they've blocked off communication to the Bracer Guild, who are they contacting? Are they really bringing in the big guns? I guess we'll have to find out. But right now, it's up to us to get to the bottom of this tea party, just us three. Yeah, you wouldn't think they'd go for Grancel Castle immediately. If only we had some convenient way of knowing exactly where they were. Like, if we had an eye in the sky who'd maybe seen them. I think you know where this is going. It looks like Sieg finally likes Estelle. So, there goes Sieg. To the west. Yeah, we're friends with some pretty interesting people. So now we finally gain control, and something to mention here is, we do have access to the shops right now. So we can go to the Arms and Guards, and in particular, I want to go to the Orbital Factory. There's a reason why I've been saving my Seepith up until this point, and that's because I want to open some of Kevin's slots. Kevin starts out with all of his slots still at rank 1, and that's a really bad thing because it means his EP pool is terrible despite primarily being a caster, so I'm going to fix that right now. Let's open a few slots in his Orbment, mostly to give him the extra EP. That's probably overkill. While I'm here, can I open any more? Yeah, I can actually open quite a few slots on Estelle. Well, I can actually fully open Estelle's Orbment. That might not be a great idea in the grand scheme of things, but that's definitely going to set me up a bit for later. Unfortunately, Shera's Orbment's a little expensive to open. I guess I can go for one slot. Yeah, just one slot. Now, with what I have left over, can I make anything good? I can get another attack 3. Actually, I need more mine 3s, definitely. And, yeah, I can just get one defense 3. Okay, so Shera's back in the party. I'm not going to go over her that much right now, but what I will say is, you actually do not want to put Action Cast Quartz on Shera. This is because you want her to be slow for certain reasons that I'll get to when we start fighting with her. But Kevin, let's go ahead and swap out that Action 1 for an Action 2. And you obviously need Cast 2 as well. Gonna upgrade the Mind and Defense Quartz you currently have. An EP2 gives you La Crest and Clock Down. You know, extra movement's actually useful in these upcoming fights too. Suppose I can give you that. Unfortunately, I need to use a couple of EP charges to get Estelle and Kevin's EP fixed up. As for tactics, okay then. Actually, I'm not... Let's actually start a little bit further back. And with that, we should be good to go. So, one of your best sources of healing right now is the coffee house. You can go and eat the house special and heal up a little bit. But our destination here is actually the port. And once we head in there, that's when things will start getting really intense. You want to be prepared before you go in the port. Okay, let's crash this tea party. So here we are at the Grand Cell Port. Yes, the one part of the city that we haven't been required to visit yet, so obviously it's the place we need to go do for plot. And guess what? Not only is the Intelligence Division back, but these things! Yeah, we had a lot of problems with these things during the first game. The attack Domans are back. And we get the amazing fight with Assailant again. So there's this luring strategy you can do in a lot of these fights on easy mode, but I think it's an easy mode exclusive thing because, yeah, they lower the movement of enemies on easy. But yeah, we have the attack Domans. They're 20% weak to every element, and let's go and set a trap for this third one. Hopefully he runs right into the aerial range. Good. Yeah, they're probably going to go down quickly. Let's see. I've got, actually, let's go for Stone Impact. And so, yeah, the reason why you want Shera going after your other characters, and thus her speed being lower, is she has the amazing Heaven's Kiss, which pushes everyone up to the top of the turn order. Not really important here, because, well, you know, Kevin and Estelle are both, just about to go, but still, it's good to remember that. Shera, one of the few people who having low speed on is actually a good thing. So yeah, these things should be going down very, very quickly. They're really kind of pathetic. Not bad. Oh, and I have not equipped accessories yet. I should probably do that. I just realized, I was like, huh, wait a minute. Kevin's magic is doing a little bit less damage than Estelle's. That is, kind of not good. So, yeah. So, let's go ahead and fix that. Yeah, I removed the Adel armor from Olivier. And I guess I can give you... No, the Excel gear is definitely better. Estelle has the buzzer right now. I think I'm going to swap that onto Kevin. Going forward, we're going to want Feint Protection. Feint Protection is pretty much the main thing. Poison Protection is not bad too, though. So let's go for, how about plus defense and prevents poison, and then a Feather Brooch. And Cher will take the Moon Glasses and another Feather Brooch. I think I'll keep the Holy Cloth on Estelle for now. Oh wait, I was going to give Kevin the buzzer. Yeah, so Kevin takes the buzzer and the Feather Brooch. You take Moon Glasses and Feather Brooch. Estelle has Feint Protection. Okay, good. Let's keep moving. So, there are a whole bunch of these attack Dobermans running around. So fight them if you want a little bit more experience or CP. But you probably do not want to waste too much of your EP on these guys. Because we're going to have a pretty long string of fights coming up that can run you out of EP pretty quickly. Yeah, they're not worth much experience anyway, so they're really only worth it for refilling your CP. However, we want to stop by this warehouse before we head any further. Because it's our old friend, the gambling addict. Not Duncan, but the other guy. Oh, really? Yeah, you certainly had no interest in harming civilians at all back in FC. Yeah, that's the catch, isn't it? Unless they get in the way, which is always. Nice snark there, Estelle. Yes, braces. Time for you to get your butts kicked by braces again. I can just picture her voice acting for that line. And, you know, we're gonna beat you up as well. Wow, that's surprisingly dark for Estelle. Blame Sieg. Oh, you're straight up trying to kill us. Well, say goodbye to the use of your legs. And hey, we have this battle theme again. So, 2 special ops blade users and 1 special ops gunner. Being bunched up is probably not a good thing for the gunner, but let's, okay, I'm gonna set up Ariel here. And then Kevin, let's see, how about, yeah, I think I'll go for Stone Impact. For some reason, I often find that Earth arts are surprisingly better in this game than they were in the first one. Stop ganging up on Estelle, please. I'd very much appreciate if you can do that, but yeah, here's where Shera being slow is beneficial. Because she can push these 2 up to the front of the turn order, and with this 10% strength boost, will I be able to take you, maybe not. I might fall just short of taking you both out. And if I do, I'm gonna have to go ahead and S-Rep with Estelle because she'll probably go down here. Are you both? Yeah, you're still up and about. Let's take out one of you. Yeah, let's go for the one who's gonna get a turn next. Recovering a tiny bit of HP here, but I doubt it'll really help. Yeah, these guys still hit incredibly hard. Okay then, you are incredibly low on health. But I don't know if my physical attack will be enough to finish you. I guess I'm just gonna have to believe in Kevin. Hopefully you don't do anything too bad. Okay, you did a bit of damage there. You should be down now. Excellent. Only 1 left. Of course, he's on with the AoE attack, which missed Shera, thankfully. And yeah, as I said when I introduced Kevin for the first time, his defense is actually really, really good for primarily a magic user. Okay, I have a Zerum Capsule. I only have 4 of those left. That actually could be a bad thing. Probably should have restocked my revival items before going here, but it's times like these when Sacred Breath is great. So yeah, Kevin doesn't really need to use too much of his augment capacity on healing arts, because he has a very effective healing craft, just naturally. Of course, you also want to save Kevin's CP for, I can afford to waste a, an EP charge. Eat Cyclone Napalm. But yeah, you do want to use Kevin's CP for Grail Sphere. Did I just use Lightning? I don't think I actually meant to use Lightning. I was planning to go for something like Soul Blur, but yeah. This is Cyclone Napalm, by the way. You'll probably be seeing a lot of this later in the game, because it's essentially this game's Blue Impact, in that late game, it kind of becomes one of your most efficient single-targeting arts, even though its cast time is not quite as good as Blue Impact.
Not bad.
Well, now we can afford some more Time Quartz, but unfortunately, it's, actually, I think I can go back and get more Time Quartz if I really want to. It'd be kind of awkward to do that, considering the point in the story we're at, but yeah. Yep, she's back! And so we save Duncan, and well, he's no longer a compulsive gambler. Let's give him some credit. Yep, remember that code. Prioritize the safety of civilians. Which means it's our duty to stop this attempted second coup. Yeah, you may have noticed something when the camera first panned here. There were 2 engines being sent to the dock, and there's only 1 here. Oh no, the intelligence division has one of those engines. We need to get after them quickly. Yeah, well, they probably should have stationed more guards around that thing, to be honest, if it's that important. Okay, after recharging EP a little bit, and do I have any really, like, basic... Yeah, I have a regular tier bomb. Let's go ahead and use that. After recharging a little bit, let's head further into the harbor. So around here, you'll see more attack Dobermans prowling around. Again, really no reason to fight them unless you want to top off your CP, which might actually be advisable here. I kind of didn't want to have to use Estelle's S-Craft there, but I sort of had to, otherwise I would have lost her CP anyway. But you want to be very careful as you're going around the harbor, because once we approach this warehouse, the one that my like compass icon is pointing at, once you approach that, a boss fight is going to begin. A pretty lengthy boss fight that you want to be very prepared for. So make sure you save before heading there. And I'll just say this much. The events that are about to unfold are what really sold me on Sky SC. If you didn't think this game was gonna be so much more awesome than FC before, you probably will now. Well, like we thought, they took Duke Jinan. So it's actually kind of interesting that her name tag refers to her as Canone, like her first name, and not Captain Amalthea. That's probably because, as she says here, she's not a captain anymore. So she's back to first name basis because even though she might be in uniform, she's basically just a regular citizen at this point. So no real reason to be formal with her anymore. Oh yes, help! Held him at gunpoint, likely. For once, Duke Jinan's actually telling the truth. He's not a part of this at all. He's being completely press-ganked into it. Well, that much is obvious. Pride is actually an interesting word to use here. And you know what that means? We're gonna have to fight another bunch of special ops soldiers. While the rest take the Duke in. Of course, it still doesn't care about him. So this fight is really just a warm-up for the main event. Don't use up too much of your EP here. Wow, Ariel's gonna set me back quite a lot in terms of, cast time, but I'm gonna do it anyway because Shera's turn's coming up soon. Let's see, I think I'll go for... Yeah, I'll go for Hellgate on... Nah, I want to make sure that I hit at least two of them. Because the two ones with the blade's gonna be coming right at us. Can't exactly call them swordsmen because they're using more like cestices than swords. That's probably not the plural of that, but still. And Shera can boost these two's turns forward.
This ought to perk you up.
Heaven's Kiss is really, really amazing, by the way, if you haven't figured that out by now. So it's great that if you... In fact, even if you recruit Shera at the very start of the game, she always comes with a Heaven's Kiss in this one. Okay, good, still hitting both of them. I think this might give Estelle an S-break, but it may not. It did. I'm going to swipe that just because I want the healing, and I want one of them dead. Well, not dead, just, severely beaten up. Yeah, we're not actually killing these guys. Which actually leads me to a bit of a point. I was watching a speedrun of this game, and they talked about how they really liked Annalace's reaction to the special ops soldiers kind of exploding earlier. It's just kind of interesting how it shows that she really hasn't seen much actual death, and that's not something that Braces are used to dealing with, or at least Braces her age are used to dealing with. The thing is, though, to me, the impact is a little bit lessened by the fact that there's no blood, and you would really think that Shera would especially notice the fact there was no blood, because if those guys had really died like that, by being blown up, it would have been way messier than that. So the fact there was no blood pretty much should have been an immediate tip-off that they were not dead. So it does, I don't know, I hate to use the term suspension of disbelief, but it definitely does get to my suspension of disbelief a little bit that Shara, someone who experienced as Shara, would not notice the fact that there was no blood there. But anyway, it's still a pretty good scene, and I still get that person's point, but it's definitely not my favorite moment in the game when it comes to things like that. Okay, so here's the thing. I kind of want to get rid of one of them before I try and revive Estelle. I just really want to make sure it's safe to revive her so I don't waste one of my premium herb teas. I love how tanky Kevin is. It's just not that often you get a tanky... Some people have said Kevin is meant to be a mixed attacker, but I personally don't agree. I just like to make him a pure caster. But, you know, different people have different ways of playing games. Like, for example, the speedrun of this game, admittedly it is on easy mode, but still, the speedrun immediately drops Olivier. And it also benches Chloe for most of the game. And to me, they're two of the better party members in the game, so... It's mostly just to deal with Xin being incredibly broken once he gets Thunder God Kick, and how physical attackers, like, you don't notice the discrepancy between physical attacks and art as much on the lower difficulties as you on the higher ones. Physical attacks still aren't totally useless in this game, compared to how bad they are in FC, but they're still not ridiculously amazing or anything. So right here, I want to be kinda careful. Okay, you should go down to one more good attack. I want to make sure that I am fully healed before I go to the next phase. So I'm going to go ahead and boost up Kevin's EP there. Sacred Breath to heal us. Trust me, you'll be seeing a lot of Sacred Breath here. And I guess you will, let's see, Tira yourself. And you will top yourself off, and Shara should be able to finish this. And there we go! Getting S-Break just in time, too.
Seems you came up short.
That doesn't sound good. Definitely not good! And yeah, they at least walk out of the way so as not to get run over by this thing. This is the Orgueil. It comes from the French word for pride, which actually works on several levels. To the Intelligence Division, this is their pride and joy, but it also alludes to the concept of pride before a fall, which is definitely apt here. Because Kanona's well and truly gone off the deep end at this point, and yeah, there'll probably be no coming back from her after this. So, this thing has been in development since the time of FC. If they had access to that engine, they would have used this against us back then. Yeah, and getting someone to acquiesce is a lot easier when you have a tank pointed at them. Yeah, she's lost all subtlety at this point, and even gets a new crazy portrait to show it. So, yeah, she was brutal before, but you can kind of tell she's completely lost it now. Richard's capture has definitely got to her. But a crazy person with a tank is not a good combination, so we have to do something about this right now. Yeah, that scene was just the Org Wheel storming through the port, by the way. They felt the need to just, you know, have an entire scene that's just that. But remember, Colonel Sid had a counterplan. But it turns out, his ace was not Cassius. And I really love this moment, because we heard back in FC that Julius Schwartz and Canon Amalthea went to the same military academy, and they were rivals back then. So, how fitting that Captain Schwartz is gonna be the one to help us stop her now. I feel like the rivalry is a bit one-sided, though. I kind of love the banter these two, essentially old enemies, have. By the way, this might actually be the first time we're hearing this song. It's a really, really good one, but we'll hear it more later on. Well, I mean, considering they're from our pretty much best weapon, I'm sure they'll be effective. Yeah, like I said before, she's officially cracked at this point. Yeah, she had one of those all along. Remember, Ouroboros is backing them. It's only a matter of time before another experiment occurred. And yeah, back in FC, considering what happened to Zeiss, you might have realized that it would be quite easy to weaponize the orbital shutdown phenomenon, considering how pretty much all firepower in this universe relies on orbments. Yeah, obviously you did not invent that part. That's Ouroboros' doing. Yes, another one of those experiments. So this is actually interesting. Shera has not witnessed the orbital shutdown phenomenon before, so makes sense she'd be surprised to see this. Trying to take on a tank without arts is probably a recipe for disaster. Good thing everyone here came prepared. Now, if I'm remembering right, there's a really good line coming up in a moment. Yeah, here it is, here it is. This is one of my favorite lines in the whole game. That relic that Mayor Dalmore used against us back in FC. Who'd have thought that would come back? Remember the way those things work. They don't shut down power, they absorb it into themselves. Yeah, the gospel might not be operational, but the rest of the tank sure is. And so, it's time! Yeah, you heard that right! With Captain Schwartz at our side, it's time for Braces versus Tank! This is the Org Wheel! Massive amount of HP, not to be underestimated, very strong. You also want feint protection because it can inflict feint on you. And as long as you don't use fire arts, arts are the way to go here. But you also want to make sure you go for buffs and debuffs. Firstly, definitely go for clock down. You will not regret that. Okay, going for an area attack here. This is where Kevin's healing comes in handy. Okay, now Estelle, what do you got in terms of buffs? Anticept all, you also have clock down. Okay, I can forward someone? Actually, I think I'm actually just going to have you heal. So, we have Julia Schwartz in our party now. Julia's kind of interesting. She has some very strong, like, these are all late to endgame tier arts. The problem is, they're very, very expensive. And she doesn't have a lot of EP to spare, and her physical attacks are not that great. But she does have this thing, Mirageberg, which basically gives her an Earth Guard for 50 CP. Also, her S-Craft is very, very strong if you get 200 CP, but other than that, I find that she's mostly relegated to support duty in this fight. La Tira is definitely good to have, though. Basically, this thing is super resistant to her physical attacks, so yeah, I think I'll just Mirageberg. I love the way she says that, by the way. And now Shara will go for... I do have Saints, which is a possibility. Haven't actually tried this before, but let's go ahead and put Saint on... How about Estelle? That buffs strength and defense by 25%. Okay, let's heal up here. Get that clock down going, which is incredibly necessary. Okay, going for the machine gun again. It's actually one of the more dangerous attacks this thing has. Because other things don't really have that wide of an area to them. Okay, I kind of want to heal, but I also want a La Crest. I'm going to go ahead and La Crest. And Estelle can use Morale. Yeah, you really want to make sure you get your buff set up here. Okay, it is charging. So for this attack, you kind of just want to run away. And I won't be able to get Estelle out of the way in time, which could actually be a problem, because that thing hits crazily hard. Yeah, Estelle might actually go down to that. Or I could Heaven's Kiss and heal before this thing hits.
Perk you up.
See, Heaven's Kiss is amazing. Okay, we're all healed. Estelle, I think I will just have Estelle move out of the area. I'm so sorry about the Shera. Funnily enough, on the easy mode speedrun I was watching, that attack actually is like the least dangerous thing this thing can do. But now that we are a little out of immediate danger, we can start plugging away at this thing. Basically, you do not want to have Julia attack it unless she's strength buffed, because you'll do basically nothing if she isn't. But let's see, okay, Blue Impact. Slowly chipping away is the name of the game here. Okay, Hellfire. This attack is, I don't want to speak too soon, but it's generally not that bad. Yeah, it doesn't do a lot of damage at all, so this is kind of an attack that you want to see. Okay, Shera's a little bit hurt. I guess I can go for Earth Lance. I think I'd rather heal with Estelle. Actually, no, I'll attack with Kevin here. And Estelle will use this. Cyclone Napalm might be useful later in this fight, but not now, because this thing obviously is very resistant to fire. So yeah, once you get your buffs set up, this fight is really just keep hitting it. Until it, well, a tank can't exactly die, but until it explodes. Just keep hitting it until it explodes. So, yeah, you don't want to get too complacent, though, because it does have a few very dangerous moves at its disposal. Should I heal, or should I just go for an attack? I do have a 10% strength turn. I might as well hit it with this. There, Hellfire again. That's perfectly fine. Like, Hellfire, I mean, it does chip away at your health, but it's really nothing. You want to see that over the machine gun, or the laser beam, or the other thing that it can do, that it weirdly has not actually done yet. So yeah, it is kind of weird that Julia Schwartz doesn't really get to do very much in this fight, other than be support, because this really should be her time to shine, but, basically, she starts at a higher level than everyone else at this point. So she's very strong and her stats are very high, but this fight's just not really set up for her kind of stat build. Her arts are very expensive and her physical attacks are kind of weak when she's not buffed, so really there's not a ton that she can do other than just act as support and go around feeding EP charges to other people. I am going to have to S-break with someone now, I think, which is... I don't want to have to... I think I'll actually S-break with Shera, just because I want to save Estelle's CP for Motivate.
Someone's been naughty.
Yeah, seducing a tank, that'll work. Actually, wait, there is someone in Valkyria Chronicles who has the potential to do something like that. Yeah, that was an S-craft, by the way. Oh, yeah, its speed debuff is worn off, so Orbital Cannon activates immediately. Okay, our defense buff is... Yep, I knew it. Our defense buff was going to wear off really soon, so let's go ahead and set that back up, because I really, really like that. And let's go ahead and set up Clock Down again as well, because I also really, really want that on this thing. Yeah, I have Clock Down on Estelle's Ornament for a reason. No more speed on you, and Julia, I believe in Kevin. I think he can tank whatever this thing can do. Uh-oh, there's maximum output. That's an attack that's a little annoying because it buffs its speed, which at least is mitigated a little bit if you've also debuffed its speed earlier. But it also buffs its strength, so you want to be defense buff right now. Should I? Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and Blue Impact because I've already got a heal coming with you. Latira is very nice to have. Okay, yeah, not even down to half, unfortunately. Yeah, you're about to run out of EP. Gonna need to use an EP charge on you soon. And so Julia is gonna have to, once again, basically just be an item caddy. It's just kind of sad, but it's the role that she's kind of reduced to in this fight, because, yeah, her arts are too expensive to really be that efficient, and this thing's defense is too high to really be using physical attacks. Now, it's not really too much of a spoiler to say that Julia Schwartz will be playable in Trails in the Sky the Third, because everyone who is playable in the Sky duology is playable in the third as well. But in the third, Julia has a unique property in that her chaincrafts are stronger than everyone else's because she hits twice when she uses chaincrafts instead of just once. I don't know if she has that property in this game. Oh, you aren't defense buff. Do I have any defense buffing food here? Because I really don't want to lose your 200 CP. I actually do have defense buffing food. Also, yeah, we have this amazing song again. Wow, even strength buffed. Although that attack might be arts-based now that I think about it. It'd make sense if it was arts-based. Okay. A good strategy in this fight can be to have one character, like, away from the others to lure its fire. The problem with that is that you will have less people in range of buffs. Because I would really very much like Estelle and Julia to be strength buff right now. I suppose Estelle can head in here and start hitting it. I'm really surprised that it hasn't done this one attack that I often see it use a lot. Now, if that had actually hit someone, I think it would have been that attack. Actually, no, it isn't. So, whenever this thing moves, it does do damage to whoever's in its path. Makes sense since it is a, a giant tank and all. You have, yes, Saint. Let's go ahead and use that on Estelle. And Estelle will go ahead and buff Julia just for a little bit of extra damage. Might be able to start going for chaincrafts on these two. Though you don't want to be using too much of your CP here. Okay, you're still speed debuff, which is good. Yeah, the good news is that its full output is only very, very temporary, and speaking of full output, I have Earthguard but not Earthwall. Who most wants to be... You know what? Okay, Cher is not defense buff. Let's go ahead and fix that. I was about to say that I can just probably go ahead and tank this. I don't really care all that much. So, she does have Chain 3, which is pretty nice. So that lets you chain with your entire party, though it is pretty expensive in terms of CP. Yeah, she definitely doesn't hit twice in this game. It's only in the third when she does that. Now, it hurts a lot, but nothing that Kevin can't fix. Let's see, we've got strength buffs on both of you. Yeah, let's just keep plugging away at its health. Yeah, this fight is really more intimidating than it is actually difficult. It's a lot of HP, a lot of defense to eat through, but if you keep yourselves buffed, it's really not too bad. Okay, you are back to your regular speed. Oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's that move. It can ram you and that can inflict fate. That's why I equipped the feather brooches. I almost said lily brooch, but I was kind of merging feather brooch and lily necklace. I guess you can tiara yourself. Yeah, I really would like to show off Julia's crafts here. They're really cool looking, but sadly they're not that efficient in this fight. Going maximum output again. I kind of wish that dropped your defense, but it doesn't. Like, not so much for making this fight easier, but more just for making this fight take not as long. Because, yeah, it really is just a big wall of HP. I mean, it's a pretty cool concept, though. I like the crest of LeBeau on the side of the tank. It just kind of shows the whole sort of ultra-patriotism angle that the Intelligence Division's going for here. But yeah, we should be almost taking this thing out, but we definitely need an EP heal on Kevin. I think that actually did more damage than the Chaincraft did with the two of them. Yeah, Chaincrafts generally get a lot better when you have more characters taking part in them. Okay, I think I need to swipe that with Estelle. Let's go ahead and use an EP charge on Kevin, though. Yeah, here is why I, 1, brought EP charges, and 2, opened Kevin's slots. Oh, I thought we were going for the cannon there, which honestly I would have preferred. Yeah, weirdly enough, the cannon actually does less damage than the machine gun. Sacred Breath is unfortunately centered around Kevin, so... yeah. Don't use the machine gun again, please. No going for the cannon, which is totally fine. Well, it's on a crit turn, but you know what? I don't care about that because I think you're about to go down. Oh, I want to finish this with Julia's S-Craft, but... you know what? Let's go ahead and heal up Estelle just so I can do that. This is purely for just the cool factor.
Get ready.
That is one of the coolest looking S-Crafts in the game, in my opinion. Also, speaking of kind of excessively over the top and cool, I love how long this thing's explosion animation is. It just really just hammers in that feeling of satisfaction from, yeah, I just beat a tank. I'm a bracer on foot. I don't have a giant neck or anything.
Always prevail.
Oh, hey, we get to see a victory animation too. And I just beat a tank. Okay, level up on Estelle's probably, although I just healed her. At least it's a free EP heal. And yes, in the teaser for SC at the end of FC, this tank battle was alluded to, so obviously the developers had planned this for a while. Here's the thing though, the Orc Wheel is inoperable. Unfortunately for us. Canon still isn't. Yes, we have one more fight on our hands. It's time to settle things with Canon Amalthea once and for all. Here we go. Okay, so I want to clock down her as quickly as possible because she is actually pretty fast. As for Kevin, I think I'll go for a defense buff with him. We have a lot of annoying special ops soldiers, especially the gunners, because they can use a big AoE attack. And these guys who can delay you. Yeah, you didn't get healed at all between fights, by the way. So I might actually want to go for a Grail Sphere here. Let's see. Can I go for Heaven's Kiss? It's not really going to have much of an effect, unfortunately, so... I think I'll just have Shara go for Aerial to try and do some damage to the Special Ops soldiers. There's a crit turn coming up. I think I'm going to actually grab that with Estelle. Just so it's not wasted on Kevin. Now, can I one-shot the... I think I can one-shot this guy. Yes, I can. Good. No AoE attacks out of you. Luck Crest is up. Let's go Aerial. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and have Kevin do this. I'm gonna show the full animation just because. And double Earth Guard all the way. Oh, and then you miss. You know what? Let me grab that critical turn. Yeah, it doesn't really matter which one I take out. Let's just go for the one who has their turn next. Oh, not quite, okay. So, she can place mines on the battlefield. Whenever the mines go in the turn order, they explode and do damage to anything around them. Well, anything enemy around them. For some reason, I guess they could be wearing armor that's resistant to those explosions, maybe. But anyway, another crit turn. Just seems like everyone wants to beat up Malthea right now. You know what? Let's go ahead and actually use one of your really cool looking arts. I was kind of saving them for this particular fight. Oh, I would use Estelle's line AoE here, but don't have enough CP for it. So let's take you down. This theme is still really great. And yeah, really there's not much else for Kevin to do other than just to spam arts on her. So there she is, the former ID captain. She has a few skills that she hasn't shown yet. One of which is very, very dangerous, but we are Earthguarded, so it's probably fine. Oh, she can cast Shadow Spear too, which is kind of scary because there's a 20% chance of instant death. Still got a double Earthguard up. And here we go! So, Lost Mobius is actually pretty cool because it sucks enemies in, making them easy prey for other AoE attacks. So, yeah, let's get Ariel in. And Hellgate. Like I said, easy prey for other AoE attacks. 100 EP though is pretty excessive, unfortunately. So even late game, I don't really like using Lost Mobius all that much. It does look pretty awesome though. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and use another EP charge. I'm half tempted to EP charge. I almost called her a Malthea. Oh, and I used the EP charge on the wrong person. But yeah, the mines are going off now. I'm half tempted to EP charge Julia just so I can show off her other arts. Yeah, putting out more mines. Putting them really far away from us too. Oh, okay, finally you were smart about your mine placement. She gonna... Okay, there's poison spray. So this is why I said that you might want to bring poison protection to this fight too. And Cyclone Napalm time. Let's not hold back at all. What I got here? Dark Matter. Oh, I'm just barely out of Ragnar Blast. I kind of wanted to show that, but I guess I can just have her Tira herself. And yeah, I guess you have to... What I wouldn't give now for Trails of Cold Steel's Mobius Quartz, which gives all items an AoE, which means I could just AoE EP charge everyone. That would just be so good right now. And eat Cyclone Napalm. For a pretty good amount of damage, too. I definitely need to build up your own, CP. But yeah, I really want to show Ragnar Blast. Oh, speaking of CP, she can drain your CP. 3. Yeah, real impressive there, Malthea. Real impressive. At this point, it mostly becomes just focus attacks on her. However, we should probably get out of the way of that mine. When's that mine exploding? Okay, it's going kind of soon, but I can probably run up and whack her. Not that. Let's go Ragnar Blah. She could very easily walk out of the way of that if I'm unlucky. Okay, mines are going to go off now. And at least that one only hit Kevin. She's still speed drop though. Guess I'll Spiral Flare. Oh, hey, thank you, Mine, for... Oh, wait, no. Oh. Thank you, Amalthea, for stealing your own crit turn. And, okay, still speed down. How's our health looking? You do want to keep yourselves topped up on health, because she has this attack. I forget exactly what it's called, but she says, like, full magazine point-blank fire or something. 0 range full magazine burst or something. Wow, that's pathetic. And it does a huge amount of damage. Like, you'll probably see it later in the fight. It hurts a ton. So that's why you want to keep your health high at all times. Stella's unfortunately about to get... I'm going to go ahead and morale just in case she gets instant death here. Okay, no instant death. Good. And, yeah, Sacred Breath. At this point, we should be pretty much set. In fact, I can probably just afford to spam physicals on her. Yep, this is it! This is it! It's a pretty impressive and intimidating looking attack, and it hurts a lot, but she was Earth Guarded, so it was fine. You have a chain attack. Okay. I find Amalfi is particularly vulnerable to chain crafts. Oh, I was gonna... That's annoying. Oh, okay. Actually, no, she's not dead because she has 4,000 health. This does... Yeah, you'll see how much damage that does now, though. That is really, really painful. Does Premium Herb Tea? Yes, it cures Seal. Let's go ahead, and I don't want to give up Kevin's turn for that, though. I kind of want to have Kevin use one of his arts. I will gladly give up your turn, though. So I'm going to go ahead and... Premium Herb Tea. Okay. Can I do this? I can get 2 people in this, not Kevin. I was hoping to finish this with a full chain. Okay, still not down. She should be soon, though. How much has she got? Not a lot at all. Actually, I can go for another chain. Yeah, basically just once Amalfi is alone, spam chains on her, and she goes down pretty quickly. What's next? Thankfully, that is it. That's the last of these fights, and that is the end of the Intelligence Division's ambitions once and for all. Amalthea is well and truly defeated. True. Oh, I think I know who that is. Yeah, we've saved the Duke, unfortunately. I say that, but yeah, no one deserves to be taken hostage, no matter how much of a jerk they are. Well, saving rich people has its benefits, I guess.